Today I had a Subway and it was really good. I got like a bunch of different stuff on it. I got cookies, but the cookies don't really taste as good as they used to. I used to get like the, what's it called? Oh yeah, I used to get the chocolate chip cookies, but it used to taste like brownie, but it don't taste like brownie no more. And yeah, I got like iced tea, and yeah. So hi guys, my name is Hannah and you are watching Hannah Unlimited. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone because I have my bullet points. So today we're talking about what TikTok taught me about showing up anyway. I'd say I started on TikTok way before it was like TikTok. I started when it was Musical.ly, and that was, I think I was 9. So for reference, I am now 22 years old. I know I look young, but I was 9 years old when I first started TikTok, i.e. Musical.ly, and I just did it because I loved comedy, I loved to dance. Those were my main things, and I grew up with the internet. I'm Gen Z, like we watched everything happen before our eyes. We watched Nokias go from brick phones to like, you know, these. And it's been a journey, not to say the least. So that's why I'd say I started TikTok. I started TikTok to have fun and to express myself because I was a kid and it was new. That's the only reason why I honestly started TikTok. It wasn't for money, it wasn't for, well, shoot, I didn't even know you could make money off the internet back then. And then like Musical.ly changed to TikTok and all my friends left Musical.ly. Like I was so sad because I used to do like collaborations. It's before like people used to really do collaborations together. It was like where you could do like collaborations with over the internet, which now they call it like stitching videos or whatever. But like you had to ask for permission, so it would be like I do a video and then someone like messages me and asks me for permission to like edit my video, and then they add their own thing and then I add my own thing, and it's like this back and forth, and then we post it, and like I get to choose if I want to post it on my story, if they want to post it on their own, or if it's posted on both. But I love TikTok because all my friends love TikTok. And then I'd say when I was like 16, yeah, I was 16. When I was 16, I came back to TikTok because I was like, you know what? I need an escape. I need self-expression, and dancing was the only way I knew how. So I was like, okay, I'm coming back to TikTok. And around that time, I'd say I had 300 followers, I believe, because a lot of my friends and followers had left, you know, deleted it. And TikTok back then was like this weird thing where nobody wanted to join TikTok and everybody was like, TikTok, you know? That was pre-COVID. And then COVID hit and everybody was jumping on TikTok. And I don't know, I feel like for me, I got nervous and I took a step back. I was like, everyone's blowing up. Like, I didn't take a step back like fully, but I wasn't posting as much as I would have wanted to. And I feel like all of us at one point, we really wanted to either go on YouTube or go on TikTok or go somewhere else. And we let fear stop us, which is not a good thing. Like in my previous video on why I'm taking YouTube seriously, I talk about how you have to tell fear to be quiet and continue doing whatever it is that you choose to do in your life while fear is yelling at you. So if you have not seen that video, check it out. It's called Why I Decided to Start Taking YouTube Seriously. It's either my first or second video on the channel. But yeah, the next thing I would say, I made early mistakes, self-doubt, and overthinking. I overthought a lot. So I that was my mistake, like overthinking and taking a step back around like COVID time. Like that's when everyone was popping off, so I took a whole step back. Like I didn't stop posting completely, but I only post like maybe 3 videos a month and then like just leave it at that. And then after that I went home for a while, and because you know everywhere was shutting down or whatever. And when I went home, that's when I really was like, okay, you know, this is my passion. Younger me only did it, you know, to have fun, so why not? It's not like I could go outside anyway because, you know, we're locked inside. So it's like, okay, since we're gonna be locked inside, let me really give this a shot. So around that time, I kid you not, I was posting 100 times a day. Oh my gosh. And it was like dance videos, but it was every version of dance video. So it'd be like steps on how to do the dance video, and then the dance video like completed. So that's how come I got to post it, because a lot of times I don't get the dance right away. I have to re-record. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just post it. So, and for some reason, people actually like that. So I went from 300 followers to 1,000 followers on TikTok. And I was like, oh my gosh, people like me. Oh my gosh. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna take this seriously. And then I moved to Georgia. And, you know, life happens, I'd say. Things happen, and you either let life happen to you or you roll with the punches. And in a way, I feel like I kind of let life happen to me. So I didn't pick up my camera for a while. I lost momentum, I'd say, when it came to TikTok. And then I decided, you know, enough is enough. Like, I'm a creative person, I need my outlet. Life is always gonna happen to you. You just gotta figure out what you're gonna do when life decides to happen to you. What are you gonna make out of your lemons? So I was like, okay, time for me to pick back up my camera. So I picked my camera back up again because around that time I had gone through a lot, I'd say. So I was like, time to rediscover myself. So around that time period, you'll see like me changing my hair a lot, changing the color of my hair, changing like different style and stuff like that. So I'd say I was like 2022, 2023. Yeah, 2023, around that time period, 2022, 2023. So around that time period, I really was like, I'm on my TikTok game. I feel like that's when I was really on my TikTok game. And I ended up having fun. I didn't just do like dance videos. I did videos that my younger kid self, like my 9-year-old self would do. I was doing like skits, I was doing dance videos, like I was just doing things to have fun. And I found my love for social media again, I'd say. And then 2024 rolled around and life happened again. But this time I said, I'm not gonna drop my camera. So I continued filming, and I was like, okay, it wasn't as much as I'd like to, but I stayed consistent to myself. So I didn't just post once a year, but it was very hard for me last year. So I wasn't as consistent as I would have loved to be, but I did the thing. And I made a New Year's resolution that I would start a YouTube channel. So when this year rolled around, January 1st, I bought Epidemic Sound like for the full year, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And crazy thing is, I didn't have a camera at the time. I didn't have anything actually but a pen and pad, and I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually take social media seriously. I didn't even believe in myself. I was working a full-time job. At the time, I was working at a tax firm. So I was like, okay, I don't even know if I'm gonna have time to do this, because tax season, was rolling around, and that was something itself. But I was like, I'm gonna make time. So I was posting my videos. I had just moved to a brand new place, so I was like, okay, I don't have furniture right now. I gotta figure out how to set things up. But I was like, you know what? Don't even worry about that. I'm gonna figure it out. So like, I was posting on TikTok and stuff like that, but I wasn't posting as much as I'd like to. But it was more consistently than last year, so I was proud of myself. I wasn't beating myself up about things that happened in the past. And then in March, I was let go from my job. And I said to myself, you know what? This was never really my passion. This was to understand school, because that's why I went there. And I've already, like, for accounting, I don't know if you ever took an accounting class, but it's the hardest thing in the world. At least for me it was, because one of my professors would always say, like, it's a brand new language, you're learning a brand new language. So that's why I went into what I went to learn, and I learned. So when I was let go from my job, I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? So I started applying to other jobs, but we both know that this job market is crazy, okay? It is insane. So it's sad to say, but it took me losing my job to actually take social media seriously, because I had nothing better to do. All I had was time. So I used that time to practice my skill and get better at what I did. And I posted every single day on TikTok. And then I slowed down, because I was posting like 25 times every day on TikTok. And overkill, might I add. Very much overkill. So don't do that. Like, you're gonna burn yourself out. If you choose to, yeah, but it didn't really gain me more followers. Like, I'd say I only gained like 98 followers. And I started this year off at like 1,300 followers. So it didn't really do much. But I will say having that time to like record and edit and do all the different stuff showed me like what was real, what was fake, what was working and what was not working. And then after that, I also started my YouTube channel. So I think that was March. I put out my first video, and it was a compilation of videos that I had just pre-recorded, just waiting, and I never got the courage to actually post it. So I was like, okay, let me just slap these things together, see what happens. And to my surprise, people actually liked me. Some people followed me. So I was like, okay, I have 5 followers on YouTube. I guess I'm gonna actually do this. And then I paid for Canva, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start taking this seriously for real. So I did that. And I believe it was being on TikTok that taught me about consistency, because if I was never consistent on TikTok, posting 25 times every day, I would have never gained the momentum to actually say, okay, now it's time for me to start that YouTube channel. And even though I slowed down from posting 25 times a day, I try to post at least throughout the week. I take off like Saturday and Sunday just to rest, because I feel like posting that much. I post on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, so I need that time to like reevaluate, look at analytics, look at content, see if that's what you guys like, or if it's not working or not. But yeah, so I'd say right now on TikTok I'm posting like 5 or so times a day. But I feel like I am getting off topic. Videos you almost didn't post. So I'd say that was a video that I almost didn't post, like my first video. And then like it was time to record the second video on why I'm ready to start my YouTube channel. And I recorded it on this phone. This is an iPhone 13, by the way. And I was like, okay, I'm not sure I want to record this, because nothing was working the way I needed it to work. Like, everything was off. even after recording the video, like I had I don't even remember what you call it, but basically like a popper on the back, and it was making a bunch of noise, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna post this, but I did anyway because I was like, you know what, I said I'm gonna take this seriously and I owe it to myself. If I recorded it, I'm gonna post it. So that's what I did. I posted it on YouTube and I actually gained some subscribers from it, which shocked me, and I had comments that was saying thank you so much for this, like this really helped me. So I was like, okay, cool, I guess. And that actually gave me more faith in doing YouTube. And then the next thing was the first time I saw results. I'd say the first time I saw results when it came to social media was March. I'd say in March I started, like I was invited to the Creative Pilot Program, and I didn't think it was gonna work. So I joined it, and this wasn't the first time I joined it. Like, okay, 2022 I joined TikTok Shop, which is completely different to the Creator Pilot Program, and I made no money, but that's because there was like different rules. So basically you weren't allowed to get free samples at the amount of followers that I had. So I bought dresses and different things, and I tried to make videos and got no sales. So I was upset and I was over it, and I stopped doing it. And then I was invited in March to the Creator Program, and the ending part of March I lost my job. So I was like, okay, it can't hurt to try. So the first video, the absolute first video that I posted got sales. Now I will say it's not as much as y'all would think, but I made $2 commission. And for making those $2, I said to myself, you know, this is actually real. Like, I could actually make money off of social media. And that's what really inspired me to keep going, I'd say. Because I was like, if I can make money doing this, like tangible money. To be fair, I didn't get it like the same day, because it goes through a process. Like, the person has to buy it and you have to wait for everything to go through. And then you have to wait to see if they're gonna actually return it or not. And then after that, TikTok sends you the money, and then like they transfer it to your PayPal account. But the minute that money actually hit my PayPal account, I was like, oh, okay, this is actually real. Like, we are actually in there. We are making money. So I was like, okay. And I started applying to a bunch of other samples. Needless to say, I was not accepted to a lot of the samples. And the first sample was something that I already owned in my house. So I was like taking advice from like people on TikTok. They're like, if you can't get accepted for samples, just use something that you already have in your house. So I started looking for everything. I was like, okay, I just bought this book. Let me like recommend this book. Okay, I just got this. Let me recommend this. So I'd say that's what really inspired me. And that was my first set of results when it came to social media and TikTok. I'd say that I used to delete my content before actually giving it a chance. A lot of people would say, oh, if someone hasn't seen it yet, if it hasn't got a lot of views, just delete it and re-upload it. But I feel like that does you a disservice. If even one person likes my video, I am going to keep it up. Like, because one person decided, you know what? Even though I see 1,000 views on this, I'm gonna like this. I'm not a follower, I'm not a sheep. I'm gonna go ahead and like it. So I feel like if one person likes my video, I'm gonna keep it up. And it shows me that, you know, okay, maybe they didn't like this video. Now I know what to work from, and I can work on this video. I say just post it and let the people decide. I feel like social media puts this pressure on everybody to be perfect, you know. For a very long time, I didn't pick up my camera and record it because I didn't have the perfect background, I didn't have the perfect setup, I didn't have a camera, I didn't have the right phone. Like, every single year I found an excuse as to why I could not post, which is sad because when I was a kid, I used to have an old YouTube channel and I recorded my videos on an iPad, okay? Like, I was fearless. I used to do vlogs in public on an iPad, okay? And then I got older and I guess I gained self-awareness, I don't know. And the pressure to be perfect was just insane. But the truth is, there's no such thing as perfect, you know? There's no such thing as perfect. So you just have to do the best that you can do and be the best you that you can do and improve on that. Every single time you post, just improve on what you did the last time. And if you improve something and you were creative and you liked what you did and you had fun doing it, then in my opinion, I think that's perfect. I will say I fight a lot with posting when I'm tired, sad, or uninspired. I don't really find myself to be motivated a lot nowadays when it comes to posting. I don't know, I just feel like you have to have discipline when it comes to social media. It's hard when it comes to that. Like, now technically you are your own boss. So like there's nobody telling you like you have to be here at this time, you have to do this at that time. Unless you have brand deals. But even then, those brand deals usually give you like a week to 2 weeks. So you still have a lot of time. Like there's not a specific set time. Like you have to be awake at 8 a.m. to be at the office at 9 till 9. Like there's none of that. So I will say like a lot of times, sometimes I just want to lay in bed all day long and do nothing. There's other days where like I don't want to wake up. I just want to sleep. Like, shoot, even today, honestly, I was feeling uninspired. I was like, I just want to play The Sims. Like my Sims game is broken and I just want to figure out what's wrong with it and fix it. I do not want to pick up a camera and record. But I was like, you know what, I owe it to myself to record because I know the goals that I have, and in order to achieve those goals, I have to record. So that's what got me up out of bed, and I was like, okay, let me put on my makeup. I'd say whenever I'm feeling uninspired, I run to the bathroom and I do my makeup, because once my makeup's fully done, my mind automatically knows, okay, now it's time to record. Now it's time to get things going. So if I'm fully dressed with my makeup on, even if I'm not fully dressed, like if I have my makeup on, I'm gonna get fully dressed and record. Because putting on makeup, like right now, it takes me an hour, honestly, to do my makeup. So if I spend an hour doing makeup, y'all are getting a video. Trust you me, y'all are getting a video. Whether that is TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, you are getting a video. Because it takes an hour to put on and it takes an hour to take off. Like, I could literally run in the rain right now and this face is not going anywhere. So, y'all are getting a video. So that would answer the question on what I do when I'm uninspired. I will say showing up on social media has helped me build my confidence. Like, I'd say it took me a long time. Like when I was younger, it was easier for me to go outside and record or whatever. But nowadays, like, I don't know, I wouldn't call it being shy, but like you'd call it self-awareness. So being self-aware has stopped me from doing a lot of things publicly, in public and on social media. But each time I dip my toe in the water and I say, okay, I'm just gonna post this video and see how it does. And a lot of times when I post videos that I think are gonna flop, I get the most love. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's signs to it. When you don't put a bunch of energy or effort into a video, it's like, okay, people are gonna love it and it's gonna blow up. But I get a lot of love from it. And I get a lot of love on social media, I'd say. Like, constantly people telling me that I'm beautiful or gorgeous or pretty or they're so relatable or they understand. And honestly, I feel like it's like a dopamine effect, you know, a bunch of serotonin happening every time I open up my phone. I mean, I will say I do get some hate, but I don't let that affect me. I just keep pushing. I do read all of my comments and I do answer all of my comments because I do believe in building community. But I will say, from posting videos, it helped me build my confidence as well as perfecting my makeup, because when you have to do your makeup every day for a video, you will get better at it. And I feel like I have gotten better at doing my makeup. So social media has helped me boost my confidence. There is a lot that I feel like I messed up on. When I first started social media, I was comparing myself to other people, like people my age, people with similar followings, people my size, people my color, like even people that live in, you know, my city. I would be like, okay, so I got this amount of followers and they got that amount of followers. I posted this video and this person posted the same video, but they got this amount of likes. Like, I'd say that is a toxic, very, very toxic comparison, versus what you should be doing is healthy inspiration. I believe when you are doing social media, there should be 3 things that you have. You should have a peer, which is like somebody that has a little bit more followers than you, and then someone that's like the same amount of followers, and then somebody that is like the top of their game, like the number one. Like, let's say you do lifestyle, who's the number one in that field? Like, that's who you should be looking at. Like, okay, what kind of content do they do? Or somebody that does finance, who's the top finance person? Or somebody that, you know, does vlogs, who's the first like top vlog person or prank person or whatever. Like, you should have those 3 people. Somebody who has the same amount of followers as you, a pair, which means that they have an extra 1,000. So if you have 1,000, then they should have like 5,000. That way they're not necessarily out of reach. So they would teach you which you don't know. And then somebody that's extremely out of reach, like your goal. So somebody like that has 1 million followers. So 1 million, 5,000, and then whatever you are. And I would call that healthy inspiration, because the pair shows you that it's attainable. Somebody next to you who's on the same level can show you, okay, like, we're doing the same thing. So like, obviously, like, if I'm doing what you're doing and you're doing what I'm doing and the same results are happening, we have to change something. And then somebody that's way out of reach is showing you like, hey, I started where you are and now I'm here. So it's very attainable. So I call it healthy inspiration. I'm not saying go to other people's pages and steal their content. I do not say that. Use that at your own demise. Because people can get crazy about that type of stuff. I'm saying let people inspire you. I'm saying watch what people are telling you. I'm not saying that every person on social media is gonna tell you the truth. Like, last month, it was like thousands of creators telling people misinformation on how to grow on social media. And they just gained thousands of followers because everybody wanted to learn how to grow, but they weren't telling the truth. So be careful who you listen to and use your discretion. Another thing I will say is that when it comes to social media and showing up every day, I use Notion, like an online planner, and I just have it for like all my to-do lists. And these are videos that like I posted last month. So I'd type up my videos, put it on the calendar, and then I'd go back through and check and see like, hey, what have I posted, what have I not posted. And I'd say like showing up every day has taught me how to be more organized. So I'd say that's one thing that showing up every day has done. I will say that saving videos has not worked for me. I feel like I get stuck in analysis paralysis a lot of times. Like, I'll save 100 videos and do nothing with them. I'll look at them and I'll say, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do the next thing. And then the time comes and they're just there, just sitting I don't do anything with it. So I'd say that does not necessarily help. You just get stuck in analysis paralysis. That does not work. But if you write it down on a notepad or using Notion, not sponsored by the way, it does help. I will say the first and second month, like I wasn't necessarily using Notion a lot. Now I use Notion like every week. Every week I go through Notion and I say, okay, what are we doing today? Did I post this? No. Okay, I'm gonna move this to here. And Notion has like this tab where you could like swipe it and it'll move. So that actually works. Would I tell someone stuck at 0 views? Honestly, I don't think anyone would be stuck at 0 views because there's billions of people out there on every social platform. But if you are stuck at 0 views, don't think you're shadow banned. Just make sure that you're reading the policies. Read on every social platform that you're on. Read the policy because they update the policies so frequently, and honestly, like you'll be thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm shadow banned, and no, it's just a stupid policy that they updated, and now they think that you broke the policy, and you might have broken the policy or you might have not broken this policy, but because they updated it, it flagged your video. So I would say if you're stuck at 0 views, read the policy, see what it says, look at your video, see if there's anything that would flag it or if you did break a policy, and work from there. And if you did not break a policy, you can report it to whatever social media you're on, and they'll put your video back up and you'll actually get views. Other than that, I would say look and make sure to see if you're using hashtags. Hashtags do help. Make sure that you're typing up a description and that your description matches your video, because SEO does count. A lot of social medias are now trying to make sure that they're searchable, so that would help you get some views. Even if it's like 1 view, you'd get at least 5, I promise. What's the next question? How do you get over embarrassment? Honestly, I do it embarrassed. Like, I don't think there is getting over embarrassment. Actually, no. There is getting over embarrassment. When you see money hit your account, you're no longer embarrassed. When I started making money on social media, like my embarrassment started dissipating. But there are times when I still feel embarrassed, and I just record or do whatever I have to do anyway. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, you might think it's cringy, but this cringy video is gonna make me money. It is what it is. So I might be embarrassed, but when I see the money, like, I'm not embarrassed anymore. Why your future self will thank you for starting today? Well, honestly, I don't even. I'm gonna talk about this in 2 ways. I feel like my future self will thank me for today because I've matured a little bit from doing social media. I've learned a lot and I built a good foundation. So I feel like my future self will thank me for building a good foundation and for actually taking a chance on myself and doing the work, putting the work in. I know my past self thanks me. Like the little 9-year-old that was recording and dancing and making skits and making comedy videos, like I definitely know she thanks me, because like she would have never thought in her wildest dreams that she would ever, start making money from social media. I know the 18-year-old that was posting 100 times a day in her mom's shop would thank me, because she put in a lot of effort to gain 1,000 followers, and now we're making money on social media. So I know she definitely thanks me. And shoot, me right now thanks me. I'm grateful that I actually stuck through it and I said, okay, like, we're not gonna be focused on the money, we're just gonna do this because now we have time. We always complained that we didn't have time. Now we have time. The equipment will come later. And we invested in Epidemic Sound, so we're gonna use Epidemic Sound whether we like it or not. Because we don't throw away money around here. Not on this side of the internet. No, we do not. Okay, how staying consistent is changing your life offline. I find myself not giving up a lot. I feel like when I was younger, if something didn't work right away, I would just say, okay, time to move on. Like, we're not gonna do this anymore. I would start things and then give up and do something else. So nowadays, like, if something isn't working, I'd say, okay, maybe it's not broken, maybe I just have to wait it out, or maybe I'm doing something wrong, you know? And I feel like I never used to like really think about what I was doing wrong. I'd just be like, okay, something's wrong with this, I'm not gonna deal with this anymore. But now I say, okay, what can I learn from this? And then a lot of times when I tweak something here or there, then like things actually start to happen for me. So I said, okay, that's how I feel like I stay more consistent offline. Like if I say I'm gonna do something, I actually try to figure it out. And if I get frustrated one day, I'll put it down, wait a few days, and then come back to it and try it again. So that's how I stay more consistent offline. A lot of times I hear a lot of people say like you have to separate yourself from your creativity. Like when you post something, you're not supposed to look at views or numbers or whatever. But honestly, when a video flops, it hurts. Like especially if you spend days recording, because some people record multiple days of their life and chop it up and edit it. When you spend days recording or days editing, especially when you're learning new things, some people spend hours, some people spend days, and then you look at it and you're like, wow, this is like the best thing I've ever created, and you put it out there and you know it's good, and it gets 2 views or it gets 300 views and 2 likes. You get frustrated. It's disheartening and it's sad, but I am working on not looking at the numbers or the analytics. It's not always easy, but I am working on it. It is the hardest thing, I'd say, but it hurts. But it doesn't hurt me as much anymore, because I'd say I have like 5 loyal people that are always watching my videos, whether that's on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. And every single one of them, I know each and every one by name, and some of them I don't even know them in person. I've never met them in real life, but they have followed me and subscribed to me across every platform: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. And they are always there and always watching and always supporting me, and I feel like that is why I post videos, because in another life I never would have met those people. So I appreciate those 5 loyal subscribers. So they soften the blow. Like when I see that Emily has liked my video, I'm not gonna call out names. I'm not gonna call out the rest of the names. But shout out to Emily. She's on TikTok. Like she always, like she started following me on TikTok a long time ago. But she has followed me on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. And she has always, and I'll say it like this. I think as creators, we don't give people credit, because as consumers, we like artists, but we don't always like every song that they put out, and that's okay. Even movies, like you could take 100 people to a movie theater and not everybody's gonna like the movie, and that's their prerogative. But for some reason, when we create something, we feel like everybody should like everything. So shout out to my 5 supporters that even when they don't necessarily like my content, they still support me and like it anyway. But yeah, I'd say taking that type of mindset has softened the blow on when a video flops. Mental health and social media. I'd say my mental health is pretty good, because I have a really great relationship with God. I would never want to push my beliefs on anyone, but I feel like having a connection with whatever you believe in is great. That helps a lot with mental health. And for me, I believe in God, so having that connection helps me with my mental health. How you've learned to validate yourself instead of relying on likes. I am improving. Like, I have seen my video quality get better. I've seen my editing get better, so that in itself validates me when I put out a great piece of content. Your own affirmations when you're struggling. So what I do every morning that I get up, I walk into the bathroom and I say I'm the best content creator there is known to man. And nobody can tell me otherwise. Like, I am the best content creator in the world. And I say that every morning. And I tell myself, you're beautiful, you're kind, you're lovely. And I look in the mirror every single morning. And those are my affirmations. And you can't just say those things, like, you actually gotta put in the work. So you can't just say you're the best content creator. You gotta say you're the best content creator, and then you gotta whip out your camera and put out that video, edit it, learn from it. And you can't just say you're beautiful. Like, you gotta feel beautiful, yes, but when you're in your day-to-day life, are you being beautiful to people? Like, are you beautiful on the inside? When you're home, like, are you eating the things that make you feel beautiful and make you look beautiful on the outside? Like, are you only eating junk food and now you're breaking out? Are you exercising, like, to make sure you stay healthy? Are you brushing your teeth properly to make sure that you maintain pretty teeth? So you gotta make sure you put in the work along with affirmations. You can't just say some affirmations, manifestation, hoo-yah, wave whatever around. Like, no. If you're doing affirmations, you actually have to do the work as well. So I will give you some affirmations that you can say. Repeat after me. I am growing, even when it doesn't look like it. I don't need permission to take up space online. Consistency is more important than perfection. Even my small steps matter. And that one is big for me, because it's like, even when you post something, you're still making a step. And that's what I call the snowball effect, you know? It's when you make tiny steps and then it snowballs into this huge thing, and by next year, it's like this brand new, you're a whole totally different person. So you could say those 4 affirmations every day. And when you talk about it, you could say each one and pause. And even if you don't believe it, like, just say it over and over again. You say it 3 times every day, you'll start to believe it. My biggest lessons from showing up online is consistency, a little bit of discipline. I feel like I'm still working on being disciplined, but I'd say a little bit of discipline. Learning how to get over embarrassment or working through embarrassment. Motivating myself. Affirmations. Understanding how to make money. Learning discernment, who to trust and who not to trust when learning from social media, and getting better at my craft. So those are the few things that I've learned from showing up every day on TikTok. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you watched this video all the way to the end, comment Lipton iced tea. Not sponsored, by the way. Lipton, if you're watching this, I love this iced tea. I want to encourage you to keep going if you are on social media, and even if you aren't, like, I want to challenge you to do something that you've always wanted to do and stick through it, at least for a month, and tell me if it actually changed your perspective or if you learned anything new. And a month from now, I want you to come back on this video and comment what you learned from that. I want to invite you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Have a great day.